इसमें देखो ये खुलजा सिम सिम वाला मॉडल है, देखो कुछ इस तरह से जो ये ओपन अप होता है भाई साहब। भाई साहब क्या स्ट्रॉन्ग है मैग्नेट है। सो यू कैन डायरेक्टली चेंज की हाउ यू वांट इट टू ब्लिंक एंड देन देयर इज आल्सो 2x 4x, आप वो भी कर सकते हो। आपने तो देख लिया भाई बॉक्स की साइज इतना है, लेकिन प्रोडक्ट इसके अंदर भरा हुआ है, मतलब जो सामान है वो भरा हुआ है। देखो कितने सारे ब्लू आर्मर के प्रोडक्ट्स है, ये सारे के सारे प्रोडक्ट्स हमारे चैनल पे आ चुका है। पहली बात तो ये है कि भाई कितना लाइट वेट और कितना छोटा सा है। वो तो एक साइज वाला कंपैरिजन में आपको दिखा देता हूँ। जैसे ये हो गया आपका सेना, इतना साइज में आता है, एंड देन आपका आ गया कार्डो, फिर आ गया ब्लू आर्मर की जो C30 एंड दिस इज ब्लू आर्मर C50। अगर देखोगे साइज के मैटर में बहुत छोटा है यार। ब्लू आर्मर की जो है C50 प्रो, और ये ऐसे गया और जैसे आप इसको ऐसे सेट करोगे लॉक हो गया। Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we are at the corporate office of BluArmor and you might have seen the recent launch of the C50 Pro, जो कि एक वर्ल्ड क्लास प्रोडक्ट है। मतलब इसमें ऐसे ऐसे फीचर्स है जो कि बहुत आपको इंटरेस्टिंग लगेगा। बट बिफोर दैट आई वुड लाइक टू इंट्रोड्यूस मिस्टर पीके। सो ही इज द फाउंडर ऑफ BluArmor. आई थिंक यू माइट हैव सीन हिम इन कपल ऑफ वीडियोस लॉन्ग टाइम बैक। बट BluArmor जो आज है, ये है उनकी हिस्ट्री। इट स्टार्टेड फ्रॉम हियर and it has come all the way till here. So Mr. PK will actually explain more about the product. So sir, please.
Sure. We are a 7-year-old company. We were founded in 2017 and we started off as a cooling company, cooling for motorcycle riders. And we went through 3 generations of the product, 2018, 2019, 2020. And 2020 is where we said, let's also add connectivity to the cooling. For various reasons, we could never get cooling to work. And there are many reasons why. Maybe that's a much longer video. But when we did connectivity, many people, Bulu being one of them, came to me and said, you should really build an intercom solution. So much interest in the intercom, and we said, okay, let's then branch off as a connectivity company, and we built the C30. We launched the C30 in 2022. That's been a great success for us. And we said, okay, now maybe that's the time to go build a portfolio of intercom and headset products. Earlier this year, we launched the HS1, which we launched in about March or April of 2024. And just last week, we launched the C50 Pro, which is our super premium intercom solution. So a 7-year-old journey where we've listened, adapted, and built some exciting stuff.
Absolutely. So ये जो पॉडकास्ट आप लोग देखने वाले हो, इसमें पूरा का पूरा जर्नी के बारे में बात करेंगे एंड यू विल आल्सो नो मोर अबाउट मिस्टर पीके। दिस इज अ टोटली इंडियन कंपनी। मतलब आप सोचो कि यार वर्ल्ड क्लास प्रोडक्ट आपको जो है एक इंडियन कंपनी दे रहा है, एंड ऐसा बिल्कुल भी नहीं है कि कोई वाइट लेबल या ऐसा यूज हो रहा है। एवरीथिंग इज डिजाइन्ड एंड डेवलप्ड हियर एट बैंगलोर। सो इसके बारे में पूरा का पूरा डिटेल वीडियो आप लोग देख लीजिए, बहुत अच्छा लगेगा। एंड जी हाँ दोस्तों, हम लोग जो है एक गिव अवे भी दे रहे हैं, जिसके बारे में हम लोगों ने थोड़ा सा इन्फॉर्मेशन शेयर किया अपना इंस्टाग्राम पेज पे। उसका लिंक भी मैं शेयर कर लूंगा इस वीडियो के डिस्क्रिप्शन पे। सो आप भी जाइए, वो इंस्टाग्राम पे रील भी देखिए और BluArmor की पेज को फॉलो कीजिए, एंड आप जीत सकते हो HS1 की एक हेडसेट।
So you can get the C50 Pro for as little as 11,000 rupees until Sunday, the 1st of September. This is under our Trailblazer offer, where we accept a trade-in of any ride grid enabled device, be it C30, S20X or MWX1. You can trade in any of those devices and avail an offer where the C50 Pro can be yours for 11,000 rupees. You can also purchase one more for your friend at the same price. So up to 2 C50 Pro devices at 11,000 rupees each can be yours under the Trailblazer plus 1 offer until Sunday, September 1st. So until 11:59 p.m. on Sunday, September 1st, this offer is available. The other thing we've added to the offer is we've included a 2-year warranty on the C50 Pro for all Trailblazer orders. So don't wait, go order your C50 Pro before September 1st.
So PK sir, welcome.
Thanks Bolu. I wish I had your energy when I speak. I don't think I can match your energy, but anyway, let me see how well I do. Thank you for having me on this podcast.
So PK sir, you definitely have more energy than me because you are already managing a big company and you are also managing. See the energy. I have the energy to speak and you have the energy to implement. That's how we are.
Thank you. Thanks for saying that.
So because first we would like to actually know more about you, because I'm sure even I also don't have more knowledge about you, because today when I was going through your the tour, you also said me about electrical components and all that, and I had that query in my mind, because how do you know so many things about this? So please explain to our audience like till date what you had been doing even if it is BluArmor or before BluArmor,
Got it,
just to
got
get
it.
some idea.
Got it. So I'm 47 years old, Bulu. I graduated from IIT about 25 years ago. I did bachelor's in electrical engineering at IIT Madras, and then I did master's and PhD in electrical and computer engineering at the University of California, Santa Barbara. So I come from a background of semiconductor circuits and devices. So deeply embedded into what we all use today, but it at such an abstract level that you aren't really exposed to what I used to work on. So RF circuits or microwave circuit design or analog circuit design, they are all very deeply embedded components that we used to work on. So that I first worked at TI where I did some RF circuit design, and then some friends of us got together. We started a company in Bangalore, a startup that made semiconductor IP. So we would license IP to other semiconductor companies. That was a startup called Cosmic Circuits. That was from about 2005 to 2013. And 2013, Cosmic Circuits was acquired by Cadence Design Systems. Cadence Design Systems is a semiconductor EDA company, electronic design automation. So they make tools and design enablement systems for other semiconductor companies. So Cadence acquired us in 2013. I went with as part of that acquisition. So I was at Cadence for about 3 years. And it struck me that we are always building for somebody else, right? We are not really building for the Indian end user. And even if we build for the end user in India, such a circuitous route, you build something that goes into something else, that goes into something else, that you are never interacting directly with the Indian end consumer and saying, oh, is this what you care about? Okay, let me see how to make that happen for you. And that to me felt like, oh no, that is a need we should address, right? And it struck me that maybe appliances in India is a very interesting space. I like to give this anecdote to people, right? You think of the gas cylinder at home, right? The 47 years I have been alive, that gas cylinder hasn't changed, right? And maybe my mother's time also it hasn't changed. And you think, okay, something that is so essential, that is using up a non-renewable resource, we've done no optimization. If you do no optimization, efficiency is maybe 5% or maybe even less. And you think, okay, if there are so many other products like this, can we start to work on some of them? So I spent time on a bunch of things, and then I finally zeroed in on car-like comfort. Whatever comfort you have in a car, how do we bring that to the two-wheeler? And that's how the cooling systems for helmets were born, right? So we dabbled with that for 3 years. I thought, maybe our understanding of what the market needs wasn't as good as it needed to be. We felt good about what we built, but it never really took off. Right? We actually built 3 generations of it, increasingly better at cooling efficiency. But I would say as a business, it really didn't work out. And, we had to learn and adapt, right? No shame in failing, right? So we said, okay, that maybe is not working out. One of the things we had done with the 3rd generation was mixed connectivity with cooling. And we felt that connectivity was resonating really well, right? And, you think about it, suppose I come and tell you, Bulu, I've built cooling. You'll say, is it an air cooler? Is it air conditioner? Is it like air conditioner in the house? Is it a fan? You have so many questions. Bulu, I have built a Bluetooth headset. You're like, I know what it is, right? So the amount of education I have to do for you is so little, right? And I felt, okay, maybe that's the pivot we need, that we focus on connectivity. And around COVID time, we said, okay, we'll move in that direction. Let's go down the path of building connectivity products, right? And when you started talking, right, you said something about riding solo. So maybe let's just expand our connectivity system a little bit more, right? You want to connect to your phone. Maybe you want to connect to your bike.
Yes.
You want to connect to your pillion. You want to connect to the riding group, right? So if you think of the car as a parallel, and I think that's always a good parallel because technologically it's a little ahead, right? When you go on a road trip with 3-4 other people, right? What all are you doing? Your phone is connected through CarPlay or Android Auto. So phone, car, and you are connected. People are with you. So you are connected to them also. That same connectivity experience is what I felt is interesting to deliver. So maybe a basic system which just connects to your phone, slightly more advanced system that connects to the phone and bike, something that's even more advanced that connects to phone, bike, pillion, something that's super advanced that connects all of this and the riding group. That's how these products are being thought about.
So sir, when you started this product, see till BluArmor, the cooling system for helmet, I was aware about it. But when you talk about the Bluetooth system for the helmet, I think in India, starting an industry is very difficult, right? So, and building a product from scratch, and especially when you have the idea that everything has to be built in and around India, that might have been a big challenge for you, right?
It is a very big challenge, Bulu, in the sense that the idea is only 1% of the problem, right? Ideas all of us have. I mean, if I now tell you, Bulu, tell me ideas for some products we can build, I'm sure you'll think of 20 ideas, right? The challenge is, okay, how do we take that, what is the journey from idea to market? And that's a very difficult journey in an ecosystem that is not very mature yet, right? So let's say, for example, okay, I want to build this. I need all of these parts to put together. Can I find suppliers here that I can trust? You will quickly run into so many walls where you start to doubt yourself, saying, okay, can I really make this happen? Now, let's say you've managed to find the suppliers also. What are their payment terms? How much capital do I need to be able to put something together? Okay, I want to make 1,000 parts and push it out. What money do I need to make those 1,000 parts?
There will be a minimum order for it.
There will be a minimum order, right? And a lot of these people are engaging with you for the first time, so they will want payment before they give you something. So the whole cash flow situation is difficult. Supplier situation is difficult. Talent is actually very easy to get in India. We have extremely talented people. Talent is not a problem. Now, how do you get them to see that this is exciting? As opposed to working at a Texas Instruments or analog devices, for me to say, the same quality of work, the joy you get from creating, I can give that to you here. And we've managed to do that with a bunch of people that, actually one of our, when we talk about achievements, right? I think maybe our biggest achievement is we've stuck together as a team for a really long time, right? As a team, we've stayed together for 5-6 years through COVID, etc. When we went through months where we sold nothing. And it's very demoralizing for the team also, right? Because you have an assembly team who's sitting, who knows whether something is shipping out or not. And they're waiting and watching, okay, did we get at least one order today? Did we get at least one order this month? And we went to 2-3 months, that May, June, July, which is usually also the peak months for the cooling product of 2020, when COVID had just hit, right? Where we sold nothing. But through that the team stuck together, I think is a big achievement for us. And now we are starting to see, okay, they now have 5-6 years of knowledge of how do you do this well, that there is so much value that can be created for the customer. I think that problem is, in my mind, the easier. Supply chain takes effort. Managing cash flow takes effort, right? And because there are so many challenges, people are not very easily willing to fund. I mean, if you want building an app is relatively cheaper to build. So I can say, you build, show me traction, then I will fund. So that cycle also works better. Here the money needed to show traction itself is significant. So if I say, give me 50 lakhs or give me 1 crore, I'll build something and show. What if you don't succeed? That 1 crore is gone. 1 crore is not small amount.
Convincing someone
is very difficult, right? So I think it's starting to mature. I mean, you look at guys like Aether, Ultraviolet, other companies like Pixel, etc. Pixel is a space startup. So some of these are interesting because they're all saying, no, we will raise money, we will figure out how to solve these problems. And they're starting to push the ecosystem forward. So I really like what some of these companies are attempting to do, right? So I think that's maybe how I see it.
But so when you thought about this Bluetooth intercom device, at that point of time, already Senna and a lot of international companies, people have already been using it. So it's a big challenge, right, for you? I mean, like, how did you feel about them? I mean, like, when people are already used to some kind of product and you are also launching something which is Indian version of a product. So did you find it as a challenge or something?
I think interesting question, Bulu. So maybe let's just take one step back, right? Intercoms is really a niche product, right? So for me, the question, if I frame it little differently, right, is how do I take something that is niche and make it mass? Because the Indian market is a mass market.
And it's a price sensitive
market. It's a price sensitive mass market, right? If I can succeed in that transition, then essentially I'm not competing with them at all.
That's the thing.
Right? So I'm not trying to, when I started off, I didn't think, okay, I have to be better than them. They're a benchmark, right? That is the experience benchmark. I have to meet that experience benchmark and do it at a price point that is interesting for the Indian consumer. So for me, it is about, I like the concept of democracy in the sense of internet, for example, is a fantastic example of something that's democratized usability, right? If I'm connected, I can learn. If I'm just the fact that I'm connected to the internet gives me access to so many things that I didn't have earlier. Right? To me, a lot of reducing price is the same thing. Can I bring the price to a point that I can democratize intercom usage? Right? I won't buy a car without Bluetooth. Whether it's entry car, premium car, doesn't matter.
As of right, everyone wants that.
Right? Car, I won't buy car without tire. Like that, I won't buy car without Bluetooth. For me, they are as essential today. And I think that is the average view. Why two-wheeler alone should be behind? Right? If car you want the connectivity experience, two-wheeler also exact same user is the same. So you want the same connectivity experience, right? Now for me, how do I bring that to you at a cost that is palatable to you? You have a certain appetite. I have to now bring it to that level where your appetite is satisfied. So if your appetite is 11,000, what can I give you at 11,000? If your appetite is 3,000, what can I give you at 3,000? So once you phrase the problem that way, then you're really not worried about the competition. Competition is like a reference. Oh, okay, this is what Sena does. Okay, they've done something well. What can we learn from them? What are the gaps we see? How can we address those gaps as well? Right? So Cardo, for example, I have a lot of respect for the engineering. I think they pay very good attention to...
So according to you, Sena or Cardo?
I think if you go technology, I would say Cardo. I think Cardo as an audio, for example, audio experience is better. We've measured. So we know that from a technical measurement, the Cardo audio experience is better. I think even if I look at the PCB, I feel, oh, okay, this is a little more professionally done, right? I think Sena's brand awareness is far better.
Maybe because they have, especially in India, I think because they have entered the market earlier.
Maybe. Okay. Possible that their marketing and sales is stronger. I don't know. But brand presence across the world, actually, Sena is better. They are the leader. Right? And it's not, when I say Cardo is better, it's not like Sena is very bad. They also, from an engineering perspective, I would give them both very high points. They've really thought through, they've learned from generations of catering to customers, and that shows in the product.
So maybe what I feel is why Sena sells more is because they have already sold more. Maybe that is one reason.
Possible.
Because everyone is in a group and they don't want it to be disconnected from their group, buying something which is entirely different. So I think that part also is a challenge for you as well when you think of getting into group rides and all.
Correct. So I'll tell you something, Bulu, some very interesting experience. Okay. So I went to IBW 2022. Okay, IBW 2022. We rode from Bangalore to Goa, right? Bike and car. We must have seen maybe 400 riders on the way, right? About 20 people had intercoms. Okay, of those 400 people. Sena, Cardo, I think we saw one C30. Right? This is 2022 IBW. Last year I went to Motovers, Rider Mania. Okay. This was November 2023, right? Same, road from Bangalore to Goa. We saw same 400 people, right? We saw about 90 intercoms. Okay, 70 of them were C30. So to me, that is the measurement.
How the measurement is.
That, okay, so penetration is that much better. It's fine, it's a niche product, but we are seeing a lot more of that. And, although the point you make about groups is accurate, I think maybe in a US or a Europe, that will be a stronger point. In India, where penetration has been so small, lot of groups are getting onto intercoms only now. So they are neutral. Right?
A lot of people are not yet exposed to intercoms.
Correct. And I think the beauty of intercoms is once you use it, there's no going back.
Absolutely. Sir, I actually, this intercom thing, when I was doing this K2K trip, this was about in the year 2017. So me and my other friend were riding from Kanyakumari to Kashmir, so it's a long trip, and throughout the day you keep riding. So that is when I actually got introduced to an intercom, and I bought a Sena, I think 10, I think that point of time, because my friend had a Sena and I was not exposed to any kind of intercom so far, so I also bought a 10, S10, S10S. Then from Kanyakumari we used to ride, not a single place I felt that I'm riding alone. There are instances when I was actually literally feeling sleepy, and that is where when my friend talks to me, it is a kind of interaction happening, so you don't feel sleepy. There was also a time, one day we are like too late because it was heavily raining, and then it was till night 2 we have to ride. We are riding to reach the destination because we're not finding any hotel. That point of time I was totally feeling tired and sleepy, but this is where I felt that okay, I'm connected.
No, I totally agree. I think, see, somewhere people associate music with entertainment, right? I think with riders, it has to flip to music associating it with fatigue reduction, right?
Right.
Unless, let's say you ride for 4 hours, the amount of fatigue just listening to wind noise and you're wearing a heavy jacket, so on and so forth, the amount of fatigue you go through is high.
Right.
And you lose attention for 1 second, anything can happen, right? So, after watching a lot of people, my view is, staying connected definitely reduces fatigue, right? If you listen to something you like, a podcast, a music, whatever you're talking to somebody, fatigue comes down, it helps you stay focused. Yes. In fact, Halley used to tell me that when he was riding alone, no intercom, he would just keep reading the boards of whatever he is crossing so that he doesn't lose focus. Right? And I think these problems a lot of people don't appreciate, right?
I also do that actually.
Right?
So not just boards, I also try watching houses, small house, big house, a house, a window, just to be
something to stay active, right?
Yes.
And I think it is important to recognize that, fatigue plays such a big role, and anything that helps lower fatigue is of value.
Right.
When we were doing one of our first field tests, Rahul, who heads technology for us, right? He came to me after the test, right? So I asked him, what do you think, etc., etc.
Right.
He said, I actually felt safe. And the first time I heard that expression, that and I asked him, why do you say that? He said, see, when I'm on the bike, just being on the bike makes me feel so exposed. Right? It looks like anybody can, right? That I can talk to somebody makes me feel a lot safer.
Absolutely.
Right? I think there are all these attributes that maybe don't get as much value as they should in the context of connectivity.
These things actually looks very small, but during a ride it actually gives you that importance.
I agree.
It makes you understand why this is important.
I also feel that.
Also, sir, if you see the use case also, a lot of places, like let's say we have to cross through a city. A lot of times it happens, even if you're following a map, sometimes two guys get two different versions of maps.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody will be in a car route and somebody will be in a bike route, and all of a sudden you don't see the rider in your mirrors. That's when the intercom is connected, so you can at least say that okay, left or right. The other things are what when I have felt that how the importance of intercom is when we are riding in a big group ride. And sometimes we see that in Indian roads are not that safe. Sometimes animal cross, sometimes people cross, sometimes you may see something which the rider behind you may not see. So when you cross through something, you can also advise them, hey, there is a vehicle coming from this side. Especially on hills, sir, we have found this.
We were going to Goa, right? So through the Ghat section, see, one of the fun things about riding is cornering, right? You want to say, through the Ghat section, I want to do cornering. Obviously, I want to be safe, right? There's somebody riding in front of you saying no vehicle is coming. You corner because he is 200 meters ahead. He knows whether a vehicle is coming or not. It changes the fun quotient by a huge degree.
Absolutely.
Right? You're having fun in a very safe, protected environment. Somebody is in front of you, alerting you, saying vehicle is coming, not coming. You can take that bend with that speed because you get a wider turn. Right? So that we also experienced. That cornering was a lot more fun because you had somebody piloting, saying, okay, not okay. Right? So I agree with you.
Sir, one thing I would actually like to make our audience understand, for me personally, it is a feel-good factor and also a proud moment that the product is entirely made in India. And every part of every component of this device has been manufactured across the places. I think in Karnataka, most of the things are done, or how is it?
Let's break it down and see. I think the industrial design, the hardware, firmware, software, all of that is completely in-house. In-house. So we used to have a partner for industrial design. Now that also we've done in-house. Right. So with our with the HS1.
So what is the advantage of doing that? I feel that the cost is one factor.
Cost is maybe a smaller advantage, Bulu. The integration is much better. Because you want, for example, a faceted edge, right? And let's say somebody wants to say, okay, I want to put a metal badge. How does the metal badge impact the antenna performance?
Okay.
So there is a trade-off between what aesthetics you're after and how electronics performance might be impacted by that aesthetics.
Right.
So this requires very close interaction, right? That you say, okay, let me quickly 3D print it, make a badge, you go do a field test and come back.
Okay, so a lot of decisions happen quickly.
Happen very fast. Right?
Go to an external vendor, then maybe
that cycle time. So what can be done in a day might. So earlier we used to send it out for 3D printing.
Okay.
Right? Cycle time used to be 7 days.
Okay.
Now it is 6 hours.
That's very
right.
good.
So if you have an idea,
Right.
for you to validate that idea is maybe 1 day now. Earlier it used to be 10 days.
Right.
If it is 10 days, how many ideas can you try out? If it is 1 day, you can say, no, I can, I'm not in that rush, I can try more ideas.
Sometimes also these are like small tweaks also you need to do, and for that again you have to go to the
Correct.
same cycle of
And you've heard that thing, right? That the effort it takes you to go to 95% from 10% is the same it takes you to go from 95 to 99%. So if you really want that finesse, that finish, that sense of, oh, they've thought through all of this, then you have to get to that 99%. If you do everything in-house, that benefit comes. You can afford that time.
So often this also happens that a lot of people they kind of feel the international brands can be trusted well over a brand that is locally manufactured. I don't know, maybe there are several reasons that in the past lot of other products, we are not talking about the Intercom system, but there are like other products which have not matched the quality, or the amount of testing has been not done compared to the international products. That's how people feel that the international brands have better quality compared to the product which is homegrown. So what do you have to say, and have you, sir, ever experienced that, or you have felt that in a way you can explain that how is the quality thing being taken care of?
Maybe I'd say it this way, Bulu. One of the things I see with a lot of Indian brands is that they don't respect the customer. They think for this customer this much is enough. So they cut corners. What the customer does is, the customer says anyway that manufacturer is cutting corners, so I'll pay only so much. This cycle it results in this is a reinforcing cycle and a bad negative reinforcing cycle. Over time you get very bad products. And then you wonder, why do we never build good products from India, right? So I think the first step to building a good product is respecting the customer, saying that no, how much ever that guy is paying, for him he is spending that money, which means I have to deliver a certain experience. There is no compromising on that experience, right? So I think the more brands recognize that, the better quality we will see. And customers are intelligent enough to recognize the brands that respect the customer. That they can say...
As on date, if you see, the customers are very, as you said...
Very discerning.
They understand.
They definitely understand, right? So, let's say I go back to the manufacturer with a problem. What is the manufacturer's response? Is he saying, no, you sold, you bought, that's all? Or is he saying that, no, I won't check whether you are under warranty or not? Doesn't matter. Right?
Let's value the customer.
Right?
The customer has trusted you.
Exactly. Right? And the cost of this is actually very small.
Very small. But I think a lot of companies just take it for granted.
I think the respect is not there. That's how I would put it.
It is both ways, I think.
Once
you don't respect the customer, then
it will become both ways. Right? So the customer also gets frustrated saying Indian brand is only this much.
I think that's what. Right? I think this has happened with the past experiences of the customer. A lot of people, they say that, because I too remember when I created the video first time for C30 also, a lot of people had been saying me, can we trust an Indian brand? So that trust thing directly goes on. See, all they understand is, okay, this is affordable. If you compare it to the international brands, it is affordable, but still, now that comes in mind, is it of that quality?
Correct.
Quality as in, no, we are not talking about like a quality of speakers and all, but quality as in, if the product will sustain for a certain time, the battery backup, what they are promising, will it do that or not? Sir, personally what I have seen is, if I compare BluArmor to Sena, a couple of things I like the best. One is the battery backup. Sena, I have seen myself when, even though they claim that for the whole day you can use your, mesh intercom. With mesh intercom, the battery considerably goes down, compared to the BluArmor. BluArmor actually goes for the whole day. Even after that also, I still have like 40% of battery backup. So, sir, how is it that you made it happen? Because see, Already Senna is an international brand. I'm sure they have got a lot of experience. How did you manage to get more battery backup?
See, one
Is it a bigger size battery?
no, it is not. Our battery sizes are exactly the same, or maybe 5% here there, but on the same ballpark.
So I'm actually curious because I feel nice that an Indian brand is actually making things better than international brands. I'm curious to understand how did you.
So let me, it's a slightly detailed answer, okay, but bear with me. One, electronics is core expertise for us, so that allows us to do some things well. Now let's take an example of some decisions that the two development teams took. Okay, so if you take the mesh intercom from Senna, it is their proprietary protocol. Okay, so there are different layers of the protocol. There is a protocol layer, then there's an application layer. They have built both the protocol layer and the application layer. They have developed it. Now when you do something like this, every aspect of the protocol layer and the development and the application layer, you have to take care. So for example, when somebody is starting to go out of range, when your SNR is poor, how does your system handle it?
Right.
Is something now that your protocol layer has to sort out. Okay, so this is one challenge.
Right.
When you take a decision like that, now you are taking on yourself a lot of work creation that now on a first generation, on a second generation might not necessarily be optimum. So you might end up burning power.
Right.
The approach we've taken is on our mesh intercom, the protocol layer is Bluetooth.
Okay.
Application layer is ours. But we've reused 95% of Bluetooth low energies protocol aspects. So I don't worry about a low SNR state because there are billions of devices that use Bluetooth low energy. Right? So that problem somebody else already solved for me.
Right.
So I don't need to go invest power
on that.
or time solving that problem. So it gives me two benefits. It allows me to save the R&D spend I have to make developing that protocol layer. It also gives me the benefit that this will be the lowest energy solution. So from a battery life perspective, it will be very good. Right? Decisions like this we've made at multiple levels. So we've been able to say each of this, oh okay, you know, we're getting power optimized. Right, so C30 used to be 16 hours battery backup, right? And I do think battery backup is one of our biggest strengths, right? Now with HS1 that we are launching now, we've further increased that battery backup. We have a battery that is 1/3 the size of the C30, but the battery backup is 20 hours.
Yes.
So we've said, no, let's get to the next generation of energy saving because you know, you worry about this, right? Okay, I bought this product, what if I have to change battery?
Right.
If I give you more battery backup, then the likelihood is you never have to change that battery. Right. So that way also there is benefit, right?
Because the charging cycles are less.
Because the charging cycles are less, right? 20 hours for an average commuter. Commuter is, let's say, 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. So once in 2 weeks you're charging. 500 cycles is 1000 weeks, right? 1000 weeks is 20 years.
Right.
So it's, you know, you never run the risk of, okay, oh, my battery juice is running out, right? So I think for us, there is the background capability that comes from the electronics background. There's also the specific decisions we make with respect to, are we being frugal with the resources we have? Because that's how we deliver experience at that price point.
Right.
So what are we reusing? Oh, we put one chip, can that chip do 2-3 things, or will it do only one things?
Right.
Then if you take decisions along these lines, automatically you get to a low energy state. Right? That's the reason the power consumption is as low as it is.
Right. Sir, I have also seen a lot of brands from, not brands I can say, maybe some white label brands from China that people import them and then they rebrand. So that is how the white label brand works right? And I think pricing wise they may come up with cheaper solutions because it is imported from China and China manufactures in huge, volume. So I think there will always be people who would like to take your product and then take the other product and then they just start comparing and all that. Have you came across anything as such?
Come across that, Bulu. See, I think it is good, right? Customer is king.
Right.
There is customer is at the center of everything we do. Without customer, there is no business, right? So every time the customer challenges us, we should go figure out an answer to that challenge, right? The response can be, okay, we can't meet that. If that is the right solution for you, please take it, right? For us to offer this experience, this is the price point at which we can offer it.
Right.
maybe it's palatable to you, maybe it's acceptable to you, maybe it's not, and we will respect that decision. Right? If you are missing something, oh, okay, they've done something, we've not done it, we should go learn and see how to lower it. Right? So we did C30 at 11,000. People told us, okay, 11,000 is okay, premium. Can you do something for the basic user? So now with HS1, we are launching a 3,000 rupee product that we think, okay, this is now can appeal to a segment that is maybe solo riding inside the city. You might still find a basic headset that is 1500, that's not giving you this audio quality, that's not giving you this battery life. If that works for you, great. Right? We'll learn. Right?
So, sir, for me, if you ask me ki why would I buy a BluArmor headset, it can be any version, maybe the C30 or maybe the HS1, over a Chinese set. So there might be two reasons. The first reason is about the warranty. See, it is not the written warranty or something, but the warranty in my mind that if something goes wrong, I have a team where I can send it back or get it repaired. That doesn't happen with the Chinese thing. So in Chinese, what we say in Hindi, there is a wording saying that कि चले तो चांद तक नहीं तो रात तक. You understood? Hope you understood it, right, sir? So basically, you buy it. It may go till Chand tak, means it may go for a longer period of time, or till night. Tomorrow you are done. It's a luck, pure luck product. But here we are not talking about luck, because we have a product where we have an accessible team to discuss about our problems. If we find something, then there is a difference. The second reason is being, sir, personally also I feel proud about it that it's an Indian company, and obviously we're contributing to the economy of India. Even if I spend 5 rupee on a product, if it goes to an Indian company, I'll definitely be happy. I'll not find it I'll not be happy to give it to China, and especially when our government is also focusing on products like made in, they're also supporting we should come up with more support for the made in India products.
I think, if I look at the 2 points you made, Bulu, I would say first point is dal chawal. Right? Second point is ice cream. Right? It is a bonus over and above, right? Yes. But I think when we say made in India, to me it's not about the patriotism. If you have it, very good. But more importantly, I am accessible. Right? Yeah. You can engage with me, engage with our brand in how we make the product. You have a problem, we are here to address it. And we learn from you, and we learn from each other, because you challenge me, I will do something, I'll challenge you back. And that's the way progress is made anyway. Right? So, for example, when we had C30, right? Somebody comes and tells us bulk is too much. Okay, noted. I have to do something. Right? Or somebody says, see, every time I have to plug this cable and plug it out, the audio cable. Right? Or, in this age and in this time and age, I am still having to dock my unit and dock it off. Right? So when we hear these things, we say, okay, all fair points. We are hearing you. Obviously, nothing, you can't address it today, but we've heard you. So something will happen. Something will happen. Right? And something is happening. Something is happening. Yeah, we'll keep that as a secret, right? We listen very, very actively to customers. Right? In fact, without giving too much details, I'd say we had some influencers that used the C30, right? They came back to and said music sharing will be nice, right? We've worked on it, right? We've enabled somebody who now offers music sharing, right? So we sell through our brand. We work with so many different two-wheeler OEMs to offer products, right? There are some that are publicly known, some that are not so publicly known. But once we hear something and we feel, okay, this is interesting, there's value in that input, then we go back and see what we can do about it.
I think this is the beauty of homegrown brand.
Absolutely.
Important. So as a brand, if you value your customers' feedback, that's something which you
imagine the impact it has, right? Absolutely. And I think that's the brand I want us to be, where we say, no, we are open, we listen, and making mistakes is okay. Everybody makes mistakes. It isn't like, oh, I have to be perfect or something. As long as I say, I'm here, now can I get there? From there can I get there? That's all. If I can do that, we are in a good place. Right? And I've been pleasantly surprised by how many people have taken positively to that. We have so many people that have come to us with, oh, next time you do something, you show it to me, I'll give you these inputs. Right? So somebody had some design considerations, right? They said, I'm actually a designer. The minute you're ready, you tell me. If you want, I'll sign an NDA also. But I want to make sure that my knowledge is And I think that's great.
Yes.
Right? So,
It becomes a people brand.
correct, right? And that's how I understand Made in India, that you can participate in product creation. We should build good products out of here, products that we are proud of, right?
So now coming down to the HS1, I think this is going to be a revolutionary product because I feel this is going to be the most affordable Bluetooth system available in India, made in India. You have a support team. I mean, anything goes wrong, you can always reach out, and then you have the best backup. I mean, like 20 hours is really insane because 20 hours, as you said, 2 hours a day is like 10 days of backup. I mean, you just have to charge like 3 a month, and 500 cycle is what you're saying. So that practically, if you see, as far as the battery is concerned, it's a whole life product. I mean, like, for the whole life you can use it.
Correct.
So, on top of it, you are also saying that we have HD speakers in that.
Yes.
It's not just like normal speakers.
Yes.
HD.
Yes.
So, one thing I understand from you is that you are giving value to the customer for sure. I mean, with that price point, giving that kind of product is a revolutionary idea itself. So how did you think about this product? I mean, like, because when you were thinking about premium quality of products, priced literally not so high and not so less, but at the right price bracket. When did you think about the cheaper version, I mean the affordable version of this product?
So I think maybe you asked two questions, Bulu. Let me try to answer both. Like I said, I think for me everything starts from respecting the customer. Right? It doesn't matter how much they pay. Different people have different purchasing appetite, purchasing power.
As
that
we
is
were discussing, like premium is something which is different for everyone.
Premium is different for different people, right? For me, what I pay 1,000 rupees and buy might be premium, right? And I want the brand to respect that, right? So we were very particular that there are some aspects of the BluArmor brand that we think is what gives that premium experience. Battery life is a part of that premium experience. A nice unboxing experience is part of that premium experience. The quality of audio you get is part of that premium experience. So that there is no compromise. One thing we managed to do quite a bit is we spent a lot of time figuring out the right speaker supplier. So we managed to find a speaker supplier where we felt price to performance trade-off is very good, right? So today, we talked about what we do in India, etc., right? All of the design happens in India. The electronics assembly happens in India. Plastics happen in India, boxes happen in India. The electronic components maybe come from Malaysia, come from other parts. Some, the speakers, some other parts come from China. Right? That's our high-level distribution. So what we try to do is say, no, each of this needs to be competitive. And to the point you raised earlier, right? Let's say a customer goes and buys a Chinese brand, let me not say Chinese brand, let me say they buy a headset that is available at a cheaper price. For me, the challenge is to say that my supply chain knowledge is so strong that I can give you the best quality at that price. Right? If I am not doing that, then my supply chain is not strong enough. I need to go work on that. Right? And I think we've made a lot of progress in our supply chain understanding between C30 and HS1. That we understand now to deliver this experience, these are all our options. Now, okay, let's say we're not willing to give up on HD speakers, we need that. But maybe we will give up a little bit on the frequency response because that is a more premium thing. So an audiophile might expect something that, okay, this is the smoothness of response I want when I mix bass and treble. Somebody at a lesser price point might not be that discerning. Maybe if they're discerning, they need to move to the next level. But it's still HD speakers, but it might not have the fidelity of frequency response that an audiophile might expect, right? So we can say, okay, let's not cater to that audiophile with this solution, but can we cater to the mass audience, right? So calls like that where we've sort of picked and chosen our battles. We've said, oh, this battle worth fighting, this battle maybe not so much worth fighting. HD speaker, battle worth fighting. Battery life, battle worth fighting. Premium unboxing experience, battle worth fighting. Right? So this box, for example,
because the first day when I saw the C30 box, I actually thought that BluArmor has invested such a lot of money in the box itself. If you compare it to the Senna boxes, you'll find that this is absolutely a more premium boxing. So as you said that you're valuing your customer and customer feels that I'm part of a premium product.
Correct. The box, the interesting thing about the box, Bulu, is one is done by somebody near Silkboard. Okay, so it is local. Right? And they've been our partners now for 3 years. So they are also participating with us in this. Okay, I understand this is the price point. What is the best
We can give.
quality I can give you at this price point, right? So it is possible to unlock some. So when we talk about innovation, typically we talk about feature innovation in the product, right? You can innovate in the supply chain. You can innovate in materials. You can say you mix this material with that. This finish I want, but maybe it's possible with this cheaper material, right? I think every aspect, if you focus on
there is a lot of innovation you can do.
possible.
Right. I also came to know that a lot of brands, I mean as in automobile brands, they are also enhancing their requirements, and they are also planning for intercom system for them.
Correct.
I heard that BluArmor is some way directly or indirectly involved in them. Will you be able to share something about it?
So there's some information that's publicly available. TVS, for example, has the S20X and S10X.
Right.
Those are powered by BluArmor.
Okay.
Royal Enfield has the Motowave X1. That is powered by BluArmor. Then there are a couple of other OEMs that haven't gone public with the relationship yet. They've launched the product publicly, but they haven't gone public with the relationship yet. But I think it's safe to say that if you see a smart connectivity device from a two-wheeler OEM, it's likely BluArmor. Right? I think we can say that with confidence now.
No, I think going forward also, whatever automobile companies plan to do it, I think it's an easy bet for them to partner with BluArmor, because the BluArmor has already got that experience.
Correct.
If a company would plan to start it from scratch, they have to work from the day one, again pass through the same cycle, same customer experience. It's going to take a lot of time.
Correct, right?
So I think that way BluArmor is at
The other aspect, Bulu, is I think we touched upon vertical integration a little earlier, right? So hardware.
So vertical integration you may.
So vertical integration, when we say, is, let's say there are different departments that have to work together to make the product.
Okay.
Right? So there is an industrial engineering department. There is a electronic hardware department, electronic firmware or embedded design department. There is a software department. Are all of these in-house?
In-house.
The more you have in-house, the more vertically integrated you are. That is the definition of vertical integration. Today, all of these functions are in-house for us.
In-house.
Okay. So now, when you take this software, for example, one of the capabilities we have is the BluArmor app that is available on the Play Store. We can also deliver it as a software delivery kit, right, or a software development kit, SDK, as an SDK to any OEM that wants to integrate. So let's say an OEM has an app. They say, I want to integrate this headset into the app. All we have to do is give the SDK to them. Then they can integrate it. So now, if they have a cluster that is capable of connecting, for example, most electric vehicles have connected clusters, right? Or you take KTM, for example, as a connected cluster. KTM comes with an app, right? So we can say that, okay, now I'll give you the SDK, you integrate it into the KTM app, that now gives you a full connected experience.
But sir, is it already done for some brands?
It is done for some brands. I took KTM because we've not done it for them, so it seemed like a neutral name to take, right? But for some other brands, we've done it, right? So what this means is, I mean, I keep giving some imagination things to our guys, right? You imagine this for a second, okay? You're riding. You invoke the voice assistant by pressing something on the motorcycle. There's a button on the motorcycle that invokes the voice assistant, right? You press that button, you ask the bike for tire pressure, and the bike announces the tire pressure to you. All of this happens without you taking your hands off the handlebar, eyes off the road, through voice. So you issue a voice command. So we'll now, let's say this is the experience, right? Let's break it down to what happens. You press the button on the handlebar, right? That is from the cluster. The cluster issues a command over some Bluetooth protocol to the headset saying that this button has been pressed, activate the mic so that we can listen to what the user says. So the mic is now active. The voice assistant on the phone is active. You say what you want. You say, I want to know tire pressure, right? So the app takes the I want to know tire pressure and tells the cluster, tell me the tire pressure.
Okay.
Over Bluetooth again. The cluster has that information. It tells it to the app.
Okay.
And then the app announces it to the user. So this entire structure we already have.
You already have. And you do it in-house.
We do it in-house. The only link is the cluster should know the tire pressure. That's all. right? And you have to have one button. So now actually with a lot of the electric vehicles, buttons are smart buttons. They can be reconfigured, right? So you can say, oh, this button earlier was that, now is my voice assistant button. So you might have seen this, right? There are two electric scooters where you can answer a phone call with a button. So it is a smart button, right? That button, instead of when you get a phone call, it's answering the assistant. It's answering the phone call. Otherwise, maybe it's the assistant, or a double press is the assistant, something, right? Now that makes this new experience possible, right? You might query tire pressure. Now why just tire pressure? Now you are limited only by imagination. Whatever bike diagnostics I want to make it available to the user is now available on demand. I don't need to look at a screen. I don't need to take, my eyes should be on the road. Now this gives me access to all of this information. Right? When I was braking, I suddenly felt something. I wanted to know, oh, maybe back tire some issue. I query through the assistant. I say, okay, PSI looks okay, I'm good.
And going forward, these automobile companies will also come up with advanced features.
Correct.
So all those features actually can be connected.
Correct. It's like, oh, I built the system. Now you want more information, you keep adding it.
You don't have to focus on the screen for everything. Just listen to
and screen is also only this much, right? So how do you populate it with so much information?
And while writing it is difficult.
I think in the gradation of experience, if you can make information available on demand, that is the highest level of experience. So whenever I want it, I'll ask, you give it to me. So if the cluster has that information and you have this link, then it is available on demand.
So most of the time what I use as a feature asking to Siri is like, how far is this place from that place? While writing. And Siri, how far is Bangalore from this place? How long it will take? That is what I use. So I think exactly the same way you can communicate.
Exactly the same way with the bike. Correct.
And if you see like TVS companies like
so you
TVS,
say take same example, right? Oh, with this charge, how many kilometers can I go?
Yes, that's also there.
Right? Or on an ICE vehicle, with this fuel level, how many kilometers can I go?
Yeah, because already they are showing the distance to empty. They have that information. So you just recall it through your...
So I don't have to take my eyes off and scan for a second. Sometimes you have to press the mode button to switch to something to read, right? You don't have to do all of that.
One more thing, sir, I also feel is an advantage with the BluArmor products is that because it is made and tested in India, so maybe because of based on Indian climatic weather conditions and all, I think you are also doing those kind of tests, like for the batteries, for example.
So, see, I think...
do you do a temperature test or something for the battery?
So, interesting point, Bulu, we should maybe distinguish types of tests, okay? We do field tests. So we do lab tests which are in the lab, getting confidence that we have enough margin on whatever performance we are claiming, right? So when we claim 16 hours battery, we know that, oh, we have more margin, 16 hours is okay, no problem. Then we do field tests where we write together to say, okay, experience is smooth, etc., etc. There is one more test we do, which is a certification / environment / reliability test. That is done in a lab. In a certified lab. So TUV, for example, is a certified lab where they will do a vibration test, where they can do a temperature test, etc., etc. So when you say you're CE certified, right? CE certification involves some of these things, right? So that should be viewed separately. Reliability and environmental testing. So IP67, for example, is a test that we do at TUV. So that's a waterproof rating, right? That is a test that we do at TUV. We pass that test, so they give us a certificate saying, okay, you're IP67 certified.
So those tests are also done?
100%.
Oh, I thought that IP67 is like something you do.
It's not a self-rating. No. IP67 is not a self-rating. So CE certification is a self-rating. You self-certify CE, but you have to be backed up by testing from a test agency. So you have to test at a place like TUV. TUV is a certified agency. They are an agency that can say that.
India, I mean, they do it.
TUV is German headquartered, but they have a branch here, electronics city. That is their business.
So then, sir, these products which come from China, let's say, because are these products also similarly certified?
Might not be, right?
So do you think this certification will also be different in India compared to the other countries, or it is like one standard they follow? The standard is followed. Okay.
Right. I think I shouldn't pass judgment on something I don't know about. So let me not talk about what they do or they don't do. We think it is important for us to do that reliability testing, right? So
because we know our customers,
right? So let's say we want to put Bluetooth logo, we should apply to BT-SIG, which is the standards body for the Bluetooth logo.
Okay.
So they run through a set of checks. So HS1 for example is BT 5.3. So BT SIG will validate our product against BT 5.3 and say you pass BQB certification.
Right.
So you're allowed to use the Bluetooth logo.
Nice.
Right? That is the
there is so many
that is the correct way to do it.
That's
right? Somebody else might cut a corner. That's for them to decide. Right? But for us, this certification has a lot of value.
Right.
And each of these, you talked about, maybe when we talked about the difficulty of making hardware products, no? I should have talked about certification also.
Right.
I think there are enough processes that help you get confidence that aging is not a big problem on my product.
Right.
So you can run, and we've started to do that, some level of, okay, what sort of accelerated testing can we do that gives us confidence, right? So for example, we have a battery tester, through which we can do maybe 100 cycles of charge discharge on the battery to know at the end of 100 cycles what sort of battery life will be there.
Right.
So when we say 20 hours, we feel like, okay, it's going to sustain you definitely for that period and beyond.
Right. So that's because you have those devices here. Correct. So that is the reason. Also, sir, when we took a tour of your place, you also said that we also do the quality testing part. Okay. And
we talked about democratizing stuff, right? One of the big benefits of the digital world is that it democratizes through transparency. Right? So today, for example, suppose you say, I want to register something, right? If I can go online and check the status, it means there is transparency because step by step they are showing me what is happening. To that degree, I am getting transparency. If I get that transparency, I feel more confident about where it is going. Right? So now apply that same thing to the product. I should give you insight into how your product was tested. If I give you that transparency, then you know, okay, you did all these checks on my product. So that is something we prepare as a product profile report, which is a list of all the tests we did, and also showing you photos of your product before it was before the packing was done. So on HS1, for example, if you scan this QR code, it will show you the product profile report for this device. So if, let's say this is the device Bulu bought, if he scans this QR code, he will see the product profile report for this device.
This is something which is unique, sir. I have never seen such kind of thing.
I think transparency is important. These are all ways of showing that we respect the customer, Bulu. Right?
Absolutely.
Because I still think it's possible for things to go wrong. But if my heart is in the right place, head is in the right place, we'll correct it. And we'll correct it also.
Yes, you can correct it.
Chances are low, correct. And let's say something went wrong, we'll fix. Right? Both ways, it gives a clean channel to say, right?
Absolutely.
We launched C30 in November 22. Typically 2-year product cycle, I would say. So definitely 2024 we are going to launch a family of products. Right? And for me, we started with C30, maybe somewhere in the middle in terms of capability. We've now catered to to the mass audience with HS1. Can we now shoot for the stars? Is something we are gone
more premium.
Something that is super premium, right? Can we build something that is super premium? Right? Is what we are building, and I think we're making good progress. We also like how it's coming together. I think we are also, as we build this, we constantly think about our C30 customers. Our C30 customers are super important to us, right? They trusted us when we had our first product, right? So all of the questions you ask, right? They said, okay, it doesn't matter, we will trust that brand. That means a lot to me. So whatever we do, we will do fair by our C30 customers in whatever form. We have different ways in which we will cater to them, but they are very special for us. So, if you're a C30 customer watching this, know that we will do fair by you, right? And I think, this is just going out in the market. We have 8 more months in the year. So through these 8 months, I think some more fun things are going to happen. I'm very excited.
So
I think
this will be the younger kid of the family, and then you have someone like C30, and then you have the premium one.
Correct. Absolutely. That's
nice
how we think. Thanks, Bulu. Thank you so much. Thank you.
बाय। सो दोस्तों, ऐसी कुछ था ब्लू आर्मर की स्टोरी, और आगे चल के और भी बहुत सारी चीज़ें आपको बताएंगे, आपको दिखाएंगे। सो बहुत सारे प्रोडक्ट्स भी आने वाले टाइम पे आने वाले हैं। See, the major idea, the biggest idea is connecting riders. So that is the story for BluArmor. So thank you so much again for watching this video. If you have any question, please let us know in the comment section of the video. I will try to answer them. So bye bye, take care. थैंक यू सर। सबसे इंटरेस्टिंग जो है मुझे लगता है यार BluArmor की पैकेजिंग, और अब तक जितने सारे प्रोडक्ट बनाए सब में कुछ ना कुछ यूनिक रहता है। इसमें देखो ये खुल जा सिम सिम वाला मॉडल है, देखो कुछ इस तरह से जो ये ओपन अप होता है। भाई साहब क्या है बात, मतलब क्या इंटरेस्टिंग है। अब इंटरेस्टिंग बात ये है कि BluArmor के C50 Pro जब लॉन्च हुआ तब मैं इवेंट पे जा नहीं पाया बिकॉज आई वाज नॉट वेल, बट आपके लिए मजेदार बात यह है कि आई एम टेकिंग दिस प्रोडक्ट टू माय ले राइड। अब जो है 7 तारीख से मेरा लेह लद्दाख की राइड शुरू हो रहा है, तो वहां पे हम जो है इस डिवाइस की बहुत बढ़िया सा टेस्टिंग करेंगे। जैसे ही मैं लेह से वापस आता हूं आपको डिटेल्ड रिव्यू मिल जाएगा BluArmor के C50 Pro की। यार ये मैग्नेट की पावर देखो, हाँ देखो भाई साहब क्या स्ट्रॉन्ग है मैग्नेट है। सो यू कैन डायरेक्टली चेंज की हाउ यू वांट इट टू ब्लिंक, एंड देन देयर इज आल्सो 2x 4x आप वो भी कर सकते हो, कितना फास्ट आपको ब्लिंक कराना है।